Welcome to Lombardi's Bar.
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl. Does he have a vintage moment in the end zone? It is caught for the win.
The Green Bay Packers are going to be world champions, NFL champions for the third straight year. What the hell's going on out here?
Jones, look at that balance. Aaron Jones, see ya. Rodgers, four-man rush, gonna float it down the seam. Adams has it, and he's in. Touchdown, Packers. 2nd and 6. Zadarius Smith. The beat goes on.
Welcome in, Green Bay Packer fans, to another edition of Lombardi's Bar. I'm your bartender, Dan Connick. Thank you so much for joining us today. And before we get started, I know that tip-off is about to happen with the Bucks. Focus on us for just one more second here. A few more seconds, like 45 minutes worth of seconds with us here at Lombardi's Bar before we jump over to the game. Before we jump into Lombardi's Bar, though, I want to talk about our drink special today. The drink special for today here at Lombardi's Bar. A new cocktail for us at the bar. It's the complicated cocktail for complicated fellas. It is a custom martini. You can have whatever you want in it, whatever kind of gin, whatever kind of little accoutrement you want to throw on to the cocktail. It is all for you. The catch is, though, you cannot tell us what you want. And also, we cannot tell you what we have available for you. So you can have whatever you want. There's just absolutely zero communication between us or the bar or anything. We'll just figure it out, right? Because that's how complicated fellows work. Let's bring in two complicated fellows to talk about that. Jimmy Christensen, our first one here. Jimmy, how you doing, bud?
I'm good, man. I'm since I just had surgery, this is like finally something I've been able to look forward to. I've loved laying on the couch for like the first 2 days, and then I was like, holy shit, this is getting old real quick. I finished Better Call Saul. I don't know what else to do. So
how is the knee holding up, Jimmy? How is it?
Good. I got scolded today by Des for pushing it too hard. So I'm back on couch duty for a while.
By the nurse?
Yeah.
Other complicated guy. I mean, he's just complicated in general. Whatever. Todd's here as well. Todd, how you doing, man? How are your knees holding up?
Honestly, I had an ACL reconstruction like 15 years ago, and it's not getting better with time. I'll tell you that much.
It's giving me a lot of confidence, Todd.
Yeah. Oh, it's ready to go again. I suggest being significantly overweight and never stretching. That should definitely help.
I have the never stretching part down. After those Oreos I bought after you sent me a picture, I'll be overweight in no time.
Yeah, I turned Jimmy on to, and I'm going to do everybody a favor real quick.
They're good.
The chocolate peanut butter pie Oreos. Go find them and buy out the grocery store. Insanely good.
He's not wrong. And the first time I drove today was because he texted me a picture of that, and I was like, oh, that looks good. And then I'm still not technically supposed to drive, but I was like, I really need some of those Oreos. So I drove to Meijer, and I crutched all the way to the back of the store. First, I texted him and cussed out Meijer because I didn't think they had them. Then I found them. Yeah, I used my crutches.
Why didn't you use one of the little rascals?
Because I didn't want to be, I don't know. I felt like people look at me like, oh, this guy doesn't really need it. And I'm like 27.
That's the opportunity.
That's why you carry the crutches with you on it.
Right, exactly. To prove that you need the rascal.
I'll go back today. They are.
Yeah. Oh, producer Nick. You're doing something to me right now, Nick.
I will say something controversial yet brave. I think the Oreo game has gone too far. I think we've reached a point where Oreo needs to stop thinking if they could do something and need to think if they should do something. I think we've reached a point where we're going a little too over the board
with some of them, but that's a good one. They've had some shitty flavors, but the one they just had right there was.
Dan, you're right. It was a very controversial thing you said, you were brave to come out with it, because it's not often people know that they are that wrong about something and still continue to say the words like, "Hey, I got a really dumb thing to say, but I'm gonna come out with it anyways."
Look, you guys have a right to say and believe whatever you want, okay? But what you believe is really stupid.
Yes, 1,000% yes.
I stand by my cookie takes. I feel like I'm an arbiter of that area.
Your favorite ice cream is also vanilla, so you really can't.
I didn't say that was my favorite. I never said that was my favorite ice cream.
Oh,
It
yours
was your first round pick.
It was my first round pick. Right, exactly. Because of what you can do with it. It's a 5-tool player.
Except the stipulation was that you could only have it as a plain scoop. You couldn't add anything to it.
Right, but what I am
So you're saying you walk into an ice cream shop, you're asking for vanilla first selection.
Asking for vanilla.
What I'm saying is that
Varnilla. That's my nickname.
I'm saying that in terms
I just gave it to myself.
In terms of an ice cream lineup, vanilla is the strongest because of what you are able to do with it. Yes, that's just.
But if the stipulation is that you can't do anything to it,
what I'm
vanilla
saying is
sucks and it's awful.
No, you know. Here's the thing, Todd.
This is like this argument.
You like to
this argument has been brought up every time.
No, you like to misremember what I say. You like to construe it to fit your narrative. I get that, Todd. I get it. I really do. I understand.
Where's Jen? Where is Matt? Get them in here. They were in that producer Nick.
You couldn't draft vanilla ice cream with hot fudge.
But you're drafting vanilla ice cream with the thought that you could put hot fudge on it.
Because I'm trying to think of what you can do with the vanilla later. But I'm not drafting the vanilla with the fudge or the vanilla with the cherry topping or something like that. That's not the you misinterpreted the rules, Todd. You're pulling the Bill Belichick. I get it.
Either way, you have the Bill Belichick right there with the loophole.
That's not a loophole.
Vanilla is
terrible. Stick to the rules.
Vanilla is a terrible first round pick. And Dan, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do.
Die. That's my hill. I will die on it.
No, I'm not gonna make you die on that hill, Dan.
I'm gonna die on it.
This argument has been brought up between the two of us every single time for like the last 3 months, right? I'm going to go ahead now. I'm going to be the bigger man. I'm going to say, Dan, you go ahead and have that vanilla in the fourth round or in the first round. Sorry. Fourth round's where you could have got it. But you have it in the first round. That was your pick. You want to add stuff to it? Go right ahead. I'm going to drop it. I won't bring it up again.
I'm really glad that you're letting me do whatever I want on my show that I was doing.
Vanilla ass.
I'm glad that you... Guys, we're finishing up mini camps and OTAs and all of that garbage. And there's still plenty to talk about with obviously Aaron Rodgers and Mark Murphy. Mark Murphy, I feel like, has sort of inserted himself into the chat a little bit in recent weeks, more than he probably needed to be. Let's before we get into talking about this stuff, though, before we start getting into the Rodgers Murphy stuff and everything else that sort of surrounded it, let's get our usuals out of the way. Let's buy around and pay a tab here. Let's start with buy around, guys. Who are we buying around for? Todd, I'll let you lead off.
I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers. It looks like he's had an awesome offseason, hanging out in Hawaii, just kind of, enjoying time with his new friends and his new fiance. Looks like the dude's just having a great time. So shout out to him. Also, it was either him or I was going to buy around for myself for hitting 1,000 followers today. So big shout out to all my followers.
You had to buy 1,000 followers. I want that.
I had to buy 10.
You had to buy your way to 1,000 followers. Yes,
that's fine. I have bought my way to way scummier things than 1,000 followers. It's
like
legally we can't talk about that.
I was gonna say, Game On Wisconsin literally bought 1,000 followers by saying Jacob and I will get tattoos. So we really can't say much. The whole website's based on that.
I guess that's a fair point. I guess. Jimmy, who are you buying around for?
I'm going Kenny Clark. The big reason, because every time you see me glance over this way, it's because I'm watching the Bucks game. They're up 12-2. Don't worry, guys. he went to the Brewers or the Bucks game, the Brewers game, and then the Bucks game. All three of them were W's. So Kenny Clark is a good luck charm of Wisconsin sports. He should be mandatory every game. People have mandatory mini camps. He should be mandatory attendance at every Wisconsin sports game, as long as it's not on Sunday and not the Packers. But yeah, Kenny Clark, you can have what you want.
All right. I like Kenny Clark. Kenny Clark is our original Lombardi's bar bump. Now he is so that's by transitive property, the Bucks and the Brewers getting the Lombardi's bar bump, right?
Yes.
Because that started with us.
Absolutely, 100%. If the Bucks win the championship
into Clark, and now Clark has passed this on.
We get a ring.
Actually, I believe Joe Thomas will be the first Lombardi's bar bump once he makes the Hall of Fame.
True.
Because the only reason he's getting in the Hall is because of us.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That no one was talking about Joe Thomas as a Hall of Famer before he came on.
No. And he wanted to make sure he made it and came on 3 times. This is the only reason. He knew that he got the bump the first time. He just wanted to make sure he really got it and came on a couple of times.
And we need to start charging him for it because now he's coming. We gave him the first taste for free, and now he keeps coming back and thinking like we're cool, like like you're one drug dealer that thinks like you're their friend.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never had a drug dealer.
Todd's always been the drug dealer.
Yeah, Todd's always been that guy.
No,
like, yeah, all these guys are really
somehow.
cool. Then they made me start paying them. Like, they start asking for money. Like,
yeah, I don't know what that was all about. Speaking of Joe, loves the show so much. One of the characters that you guys have never actually met, but gets talked about quite a bit on here by me is Grandma Joan. Jimmy's already cussed a handful of times. Joe took some time out of his schedule last week to meet up with Grandma Joan. It was fantastic. 2 peas in a pod, those two.
Nick just had that sitting there in the chamber, ready to just load that up for you.
Ready to launch it out there. So shout out Grandma Joan. She's watching at home, I'm sure of it. And shout out Joe. I'm sure he's watching too. Surprised he's not in the chat.
Is Grandpa Joan the one that hangs out with Pastor Pat?
Yep.
Wait, who is Pastor Pat?
Fictional character Todd made up.
Okay.
So I told Jimmy was going to the baseball game with us.
No pastor in sight when I walked out. I wore my priest outfit for no reason.
No, but it still came in.
Pastor Pat.
It still came in handy when we were role playing.
My God.
Oh, yes,
I am buying around for the Packers ticket department for 2 separate reasons. Well, for one reason overall in general, but for 2 separate sort of for 2 separate reasons. But for one singular event.
Just tell us. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm lost.
The Lambeau Field going completely paperless for the 2021 season. You will not be able to use paper tickets to get into Lambeau this year. It is all mobile. You have to use your account through the Green Bay Packers app to get the tickets. 2 reasons you guys are getting the drink this week. 1, because you are going to have to deal with every single Ethel and Merle that lives in Wisconsin that has been a season ticket holder for the last 50 years and wants to complain about your discrimination against them because they don't have smartphones or they don't know how to use the app. So God bless you as you go down that road. Boomers extremely triggered. Which brings me to the second reason, because good on you. We need new young blood in the season ticket holder area. Call the wheat from the chaff. Let's get some of these guys out of here.
No more sitting.
Exactly. No more sitting. I don't want to have to keep coming in here every time I go to Lambeau and sit around everybody, and they all look at me like I have intruded on your area because – well, we've all had these season tickets for years. And how do you know Bob and Muriel? Well, Bob and Muriel put their ticket up on StubHub for $200. So that's how I know them. And I can be here just as much as you can be. You're not better because you got your
Sit down and
tickets
shut
down.
up.
Exactly.
Sit down and shut up.
Exactly. Let's get some fresh blood in Lambeau. Let's get some actual energy. I have said before, and I'll say it again, the worst thing that has happened to the Green Bay Packers is that they have such a long waiting list for their season tickets because it's created a stagnant home field advantage culture. We need new blood, and this is going to do it. So good on you, Packers ticket department. And
True.
tirade.
Right. Wow, Dan got fired up. Hey,
Good
real
job.
quick,
Yes.
you guys are going to help me with this. Retweets or quote tweets? Just pick one, Dan.
Quote tweets.
Okay. Jimmy, pick a number between 1 and 9.
7.
I'm really curious about what this is going to end up with.
No, I'm not paying Aaron $20.
Oh, is that the person you?
Yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, no. She was 8. Katie Sunderman.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
$20,
congrats,
Katie.
Pay the tab.
I'll take 10 for picking 7. Pay the tab. I got you.
Yeah, you start us off, Jimmy. How about that?
I'm going with Will Redmond. There was reports coming out of OTAs and minicamp that he was getting a lot of first team plays, first team snaps. And I know it's just OTAs and minicamp, but dude, if Homeboy's going to be on the field again, please step it up this season. It's now you're going into your 3rd year in the secondary. He started off in the NFL as a corner. He transitioned to safety for the Packers 2 seasons ago. There's really no excuse anymore. He had a rough NFC Championship game. I thought he wasn't going to be on the team anymore. Please play well because I cannot deal with another bullshit outing like the NFC Championship game.
Todd?
I'm going to go with Josh Jackson. Not for anything he actually did on the field or really off the field. It was more a clothing choice. There was a picture from OTAs of everybody standing on the sidelines, just, hanging out in jerseys and whatever. He was the only dude out there that not only was wearing sleeves, but he was wearing a full-blown hoodie. That tells me he's not coming there to actually do work. He has to wear a sweatshirt just to get a lather going. That's not the kind of guy I want who's trying to make the roster, get out there, put in the work, break a real sweat without the help of a sweatshirt.
It's like 90 degrees too.
Yeah. Look, everyone else is just hanging out in t-shirts and he is got a hoodie underneath his.
Nonsense.
It's like on face value, it's such a weird thing to like criticize Josh Jackson for. But then, like, as you were saying, it is 90 degrees. What is the reason? Like, there has to be something behind this other than just, I don't know, like being quirky,
Being quirky.
Being quirky.
I don't know. That's just, it makes sense why he doesn't get many snaps now. He does shit like that.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a
Like,
sweatshirt when it's 90
Maybe
degrees.
he lost a bet. Speaking of which, Todd, don't think that we've forgotten.
Oh, no. Mitch Trubisky coming at you.
Yeah.
Please be a Bills jersey.
Announced that the Packers will have fans in attendance at training camp.
This guy, number 10.
We have not forgotten.
Never
My
forget.
pay the tab goes to Devin Funches, but not Devin Funches the man. Devin Funches haters. Because I am
With a
all
Z?
aboard. What?
With haters with a Z?
Haters with a Z.
Nice.
Actually with an S and a Z.
What?
haters,
That's
yeah.
outrageous.
I know.
Taking it one too
that's
far.
where they've been. That's the level they've gotten to. I am all aboard, and you guys purchase your tickets now. Standing room only. The Devin Funches 2021 Redemption Tour train. I am your captain. I think Devin Funches comes out here. I think he has an amazing season and just shuts all of these people up that are complaining about him not showing up to mini camps, not showing up to the non-mandatory OTAs and things like that. Like, Devin Funches went through a lot last year. it was not an easy decision to be the only person on that roster to sit out due to COVID concerns. That's not an easy decision for you to make as a person, to be that only person. And now, like, you're sticking it out and you're trying to come back and you're fighting to make that roster and to prove what you've got. And so I am all on board for the redemption tour. I think everyone else that's hating can shut up and be ready to eat it when Devin Funchess serves you a nice steaming plate of shut the hell up for the end of the season.
All right. So do you think he's going to be our 5th receiver then, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So then St. Brown is gone?
I think you go Adams, Lazard, MVS,
Rodgers,
Funches. I think EQ probably sticks around. I think you run with 6 wide receivers. I think at least early on, at least in that
no love for Reggie Beggleton. Come on, CFL legend.
At least the first week, like the first couple weeks, you have Brown make it because of the whole Sternberger thing. You kind of get that little weird like flexibility, and he probably gets cut later on. So I'm interested to see how that works out. But I think he at least makes it because Sternberger kind of opens up that spot for another sort of offensive weapon, at least early on.
Do you think the suspension hurts Sternberger's chances of making the roster?
No, I think he'll still make the roster.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that was kind of in there. Yeah, big fan of Dragons. But
Big
honestly,
Dragon
like
guy.
if it's not big Dragon guy, but if it's not, like, if he doesn't do anything this year, he's done. Like,
Yeah. It's a maker to break it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he makes it. I think this sort of just confirmed that this was the final chance.
Wouldn't you kind of say the same with Josh Jackson, though? That's what we all thought last year. And he's still...
There
Yes.
he is.
there he is in a hoodie.
Yeah, what the shit?
I think Josh Jackson kind of he's in a different situation because he's at a position group that they don't really have the bodies to kind of like fill out around him, you know? Like he's gotten to keep his job around because they haven't been able to find anything. What is so funny? What?
Just don't look in the chat. Just don't look in the chat.
Damn.
I saw Todd
Right.
smirking, so I looked right away. God damn it, Labo.
Speaking of lack of professionalism, there
Yeah,
from
really.
Sternberg, and,
Yeah, not us.
we are the authority on professionalism.
No one is more professional than us. We are the professionals professional.
He'll probably come on here to address this.
I think Josh Jackson, he gets that benefit of just being a body in a position group that they haven't been able to fill out the talent any better. Sternberger has more competition.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, especially with Tunyon's kind of rise and DeGuara being drafted last year. I agree. And Daphne, I don't know. I'm excited to see what he does on this. If he had what kind of role he carves out, whether it's just special teams, if he works his way on the field, he might capitalize the most about Sternberger being out.
Are you saying right now, Jimmy Christensen, that you would like to be captain of the Dominique Daphne hype train for 2021?
No, absolutely not. I would not. I don't think.
No, I'm gonna pass.
Yeah, no, I don't think he makes. I don't know. With Sternberger being out, I think he makes a roster, but I don't know how long he's kept on the roster once Sternberger's available again.
Yeah, I mean, like, how long do you run with 5 tight ends?
Yeah, but Daphne also gets some play in the backfield where DeGuara does as well. So maybe they'll do a little tandem thing. So maybe
I love tandem things.
The whole tandem things.
I think right there it describes exactly why Daphne sort of gets that hype train, put on the tracks for him. Because
all right, we'll put that C on your chest and be the captain. Toot toot.
Toot toot, motherfuckers. No, like that when DeGuara went out last year, Daphne filled the DeGuara role. And so if anything, we love guys on this roster. Matt LaFleur loves guys on this roster that can do the multiple roles. They can block, they can catch, they can run the sweeps, they can fit into the different sets.
Yeah.
If Daphne can do that, he finds a way onto this roster, at least I think, as a special teams guy, at the very least.
Why don't we just have Labo be he said he loved Daphne. Labo, you want to be the captain of the Dominic Daphne train?
Yeah.
I'm assuming he says yes.
I would assume he says yes.
Also, Iowa Joe in there with the good comment about Josh Jackson. Working with Joe Barry, coming from more zone coverage. And at first I was like, how the fuck's he know that? But his name is literally Iowa Joe. So that really kind of pointed it out there.
Which, no offense, Joe, I'm assuming right away you're eating the home cooking, drinking the Iowa Kool-Aid. I'm not buying Josh Jackson, regardless of the system he's in. I pray I'm wrong. I pray I'm wrong. And I'm not a praying man, but, if I did, I'd pray that I was wrong on that.
Iowa Joe, do you have a mullet? Answer that and go ahead. Go ahead, Dan.
When did Todd become like a Southern judge?
I pray I'm wrong.
I pray I'm wrong. I pray.
He caught it between the two braids because the second time he went more normal Todd.
Yeah, the first time was very, very.
Now listen here, youngins.
Oh man. All right. Let's get to our drunk tweet of the week, because I think it's going to be a nice little spark plug for us to talk more about everything that we need to discuss here in the rest of the show. Nick, if you could throw that up for us, our drunk tweet of the week. It comes from
That's not it.
That's Todd. That's Todd in there. It looks like, wait, throw that ball in. Wait, take the drunk tweet off for a second. Take it back off. Throw up whatever the hell that was for a second. That looks like Todd in a wig. Tell me that doesn't look like Todd dressed up.
So,
and hold on. I'm looking at the picture. Nick, throw it back up. What's in the right hand corner? Is that like a picture of and you see this little yellowish?
It's like a little
like
tiki mask,
like a tiki something going on.
Yeah, anyway. that was a play I did for community theater. It's kind of a spoof on Easter Sunday.
Don't tell me that's. I can't tell. I know it's not right, but I can't tell if he's doing a bit.
Is that Gruden?
It does look like Gruden. Which now begs the scientific question: is Todd a Gruden? Because that guy looks like a Gruden and a Todd.
I don't see the Todd so much.
Really? I see the Todd. It's the nose.
The Todd.
I am the Todd.
Anyway, Nick, throw the drunk tweet back up there. I think we all knew that this was going to come in here because, boy, oh boy, Schefter, I really tried. I really gave you the benefit of the doubt. When you came out and you were talking about compiling sources and talking about Aaron Rodgers, and I said, you know what, Schefter, the guy has a track record of this integrity. He may be a corporate shill, but at least you can always get sort of the straight no bullshit coming out of his mouth, right? And I tried. Apparently I was wrong because I don't know what the hell that was, but that was not a Schefter. That's not a Schefter comment. That is straight, pure, uncut Colombian Bayless. That is pure Skip Bayless right there.
Yeah.
I don't know where the hell that comes from. Who?
There's also a typo
in their right
in it.
mind.
There's also
Wait, throw it back up. Is it really?
Yeah.
They throw it back up.
Should be worst teams in football, right?
No, I think worst works there.
Nick disagreed with you, and so do I. So
I don't know.
I think you can be one. I think it works grammatically, but the point is, Todd, you're right. It doesn't flow as well as it probably could.
Thank you.
Regardless, Schefter. What is with the preachers today? I don't
Skip.
He went full Skip Bayless though. What person that's not actively trying to troll the Green Bay Packer fan base would say that? Right? There's no logic behind that. There's no facts that back it up.
Do we have to suspend producer Nick for putting a picture of Skip Bayless on the show? 3-week suspension. Good news.
Starting now.
We don't have a show planned for the next 3 weeks.
Bad
Sorry
news.
about it, Nick.
Giannis just got a second foul in the first quarter.
Yeah. Was he icing his groin?
I don't know.
It sure looked like a...
People been touching his junk a lot this series, so he's probably a little sore.
If I knew there was that much junk grabbing in basketball, I would be a hooper. Faux show.
For show. I mean, real quick. 26-15 from the Bucks first quarter. That's
Jimmy, just look at me. Come on, man. What are you doing?
I had water in my mouth, and I know if I looked at you, I was going to spit it out. Sorry. I had to hold that in there. I didn't want to spit all over my computer.
That's what she said.
But really, what is Schefter doing with this take? What do you guys? How do you take this? Like, is this Schefter actively trolling? Like, do you think this is something? Do you think that he's trying to get back now at the Packer fan base that lashed out against him?
No, I think ESPN lost Skip Bayless to FS1, and now they need a new person to fill Skip Bayless's job.
But isn't that Stephen A. Smith?
But here's the thing:
they have Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman.
Sure.
But you got to think of this. Schefter's got to be getting tired of the 24/7 buzz that goes on with his position, right? Like, he's always on his phone, always got to have something going on. He's probably looking to get into one of those spots where he's just a talking head.
Yeah.
And this is where it starts for him.
And he's getting beat out by Rappaport and Pelissero, however you say his name. So at that point, you might as well.
So he's getting scared.
Yeah.
Or he just wants an easier life. It has to be much easier to just spew nonsense on TV than constantly be tweeting stuff.
I've had the old bull. Now I want the young calf.
Exactly. You get it now. See, you get it. Add a luscious man. Ball throw down from
my chest pews down to my ball throw. I miss this, guys. I fucking miss this.
I know. I just watched Semi-Pro the other day, 2 days in a row, because that movie is so fucking underrated. It is so funny.
Good.
Yeah. I love Miss Sexy.
I seriously, so real quick, as a sidebar story before we get farther into this, did work for a hockey team where they score a power play goal and everyone in the building gets a free coupon for chili from Wendy's. Every time, without fail, every time power play goal scores and the horn's going off, you've got to start screaming, "Corn dogs, Jackie! Corn dogs for all of these people!"
They would do that?
That for me, that's an all-time line. Underrated all-time line. Corn dogs, Jackie. Corn dogs for all of these people.
I just like how he sprints out of the gym after. Just straight books it. Todd, have you ever seen Semi-Pro? You have a face of someone who has not seen it.
I have seen it only a couple of times, so it wasn't. It didn't hit me, I guess. I understand it's a good one. It's got a bunch of great lines. It just didn't hit with me. But I was just watching Willie Adames make another sick play.
Are the Brewers playing tonight?
Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't know who that is.
Jimmy, you're a big baseball guy now. Come on, you should know that.
I know, but it's also NBA playoff basketball. So,
Todd, where can people learn more or find or watch more of Jimmy learning about baseball? Where can they hear more of that?
Oh, you can check us out Thursday mornings on Whiskaholics. I mean, you can check it out anytime, but we release a new episode every Thursday. However, that segment of Teach Jimmy Baseball, you might have to go into the archives for, because we might be switching it up with a new segment here.
I was going to say, listening to the last one where you're talking about running into the catcher, I'm like, all right, Has Todd reached the bottom of the barrel with Teach Jimmy Baseball now?
I am an expert.
Well, because you also have to find something that's going to irritate Jimmy. Otherwise, I could read him the rule book.
It's a delicate dance. It's a delicate dance that you have to play every single week.
Yep.
I do stand by. They should be able to just fucking run into the catcher and the second base person.
Dan, I do appreciate you listening.
Be cool to be on. Wink, wink.
Oh, chill the fuck
Catherine Hahn, wink. In summation, bleep you, Adam Schefter. Go kick rocks.
We're still on this.
We didn't put a bookend to it. We didn't close the segment. You got to close the segment out. You can't just leave it hanging there. So bleep off Adam Schefter. In no right mind would the Packers be one of the worst teams in the league without Aaron Rodgers. There's no logic to that. So kindly bleep off.
All right. So then, real question: if Rodgers isn't playing, what's our record? We have Jordan Love under center.
Well, now I'm trying to think because 10-6 doesn't work anymore. I think it's 10-7 or 11-6. And I think that's good enough to make the playoffs, especially in this division.
I feel like producer Nick has a message. Producer Nick has a message for Adam Schefter.
Knock. Who's there?
Fuck off. Mr. Leahy and Randy, the fuck off department. Mr. Leahy and Randy, the fuck off department.
So I'm going to pay you $100 to fuck off.
Don't you have some offs to fuck there, boys? What? Fuck off. Defense rests. Everybody can fuck off.
Thank you, Todd.
I just like his giggle. Just like this.
Just sitting there waiting. Nick's a little rusty. Nick, this is the OTAs. This is minicamp. This is when we dust it off. I know that we won't have the hot buttons here coming up, but buddy, like this is where you gotta start running these ladder drills, man.
We really messed up not having a hotkey that was Schmidt from New Girl yelling Nick. I feel like that would have been perfect. Nick. God damn it. Why do we think of this now? One more show.
Real quick, Labo. The most recent time I dressed up for Halloween, I was Julian from Trailer Park Boys. So you're welcome.
That's fair.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Guys, with the Adam Schefter thing, though, it goes back to the Aaron Rodgers saga. I want to get your takes on the Mark Murphy situation. Mark Murphy comes out, gives us the complicated fellas line. I don't see it as much of an issue. Everybody seemed to think it was a gigantic issue. Where do you guys fall on this in the Mark Murphy comments? And does this make Mark Murphy now? Does Mark Murphy now become enemy number one instead of Brian Gutekunst in the Aaron Rodgers v. Packers saga?
I have no issue with Mark Murphy saying anything at any time. I do not care. I honestly don't give a shit what anybody says from either side, unless they are saying something that definitively changes the future or keeps it the same. Like, unless something is definitely happening, I don't care who says what.
But then to go with that same thing, though, wouldn't it just be better, like, if you're not telling us the deal's being done or he's traded, just everyone shut the fuck up. Like, no one has to say anything, especially if he said, like, hey, the less we say publicly, the better. And then he immediately goes out and says, complicated fella. Is it that big of a deal? No. Is he telling the absolute truth? Yes. He probably could have called Aaron Rodgers a whole lot worse. But then it's just the only slight annoyance I had was one day, the less we say publicly, the better. The next day, he's a complicated fella. It was just weird to have him say that so close together.
Yeah, I think it goes back to the point. Mark Murphy he's not an owner. Like, if you're an owner, like if you're a Jerry Jones or an actual like owner of the team, I think you kind of grow up in the world a little bit differently and kind of learn how to control the public, the public narrative a little bit better than Mark Murphy does, or Mark Murphy has. But he's the CEO. He's not an actual owner. And plus, Mark Murphy has had it pretty damn easy when it's come to PR the last 15 years or so.
Don't you think it'd be like, if he is becoming the kind of villain in the whole situation, if anyone were to be the bad guy, it'd be good for it to be Mark Murphy.
No,
like, you don't want it to be the head coach. You don't want it to be your general manager. If it's the person acting at the closest thing we have to an owner, then let him be the fucking bad guy. It's better than anybody else. So
no, you're right. I mean, it goes like it goes back to the way they structured the front office, where Mark Murphy's at the top and Brian Gutekunst and Matt LaFleur both report to him, and everyone's like, "Oh, this kind of is a weird situation." But now you kind of get this whole thing where Mark Murphy can kind of take the heat off and be that bad guy, and now Brian Gutekunst can work on repairing that relationship. It's good cop, bad cop. They're playing good cop, bad cop. Mark Murphy's bad cop.
It's all part of the plan.
It's all part of the plan. I'm with you, Todd, though. I don't care what anybody says unless it's Aaron Rodgers is coming to training camp or we have traded Aaron Rodgers. Until those statements are said, I don't really care, because it's all noise at that point. I don't care what James Jones has to say. I don't care what whatever Tom Pelissaro at NFL Network says is going on, or the 20 different articles from everyone that's suggesting this trade would be best and the Broncos should do this and whatever. It's all noise. It means nothing to me.
It happens every year, though. It's this time of the year where there's really absolutely nothing going on, and we just have to fill it with some kind of content. And so we just pull whatever out of our asses. And this gave us content, and now we're just stretching it out as long as possible.
Yeah. Here, a comment from Jason here. It says we're way overthinking it, that Murphy is just a goofball. But that right there, that's exactly it. He knows he's the goofball. He's playing the goofball bad cop. He's playing into his strengths there. It's all galaxy brain, Jason. It's all one step. He's in here. He's Kaiser Sozeing us, man. Everyone thinks he's some harmless guy, but no, he's the mastermind behind it all.
He's the puppet master?
The puppet master. Master.
I mean, Nick, get him out of here. Kick him out.
That's a promo right there. All right, guys. I didn't grade any bar bets for today because I suck, and I couldn't think of any others that we hadn't already talked about. So let's start wrapping it up here. I think is a good way to finish our episode today. People want to focus on the Bucks game because the Nets are making a little bit of a comeback here early on in the second quarter. Because I just 13. Think that they're up by 10, and KD just stole the ball, and he's about to drain.
I'm a little behind you.
Three. He didn't drain 3, but
God damn it.
It's a 10-point game. Where's Kenny Clark, Jimmy? Did the check not go through?
No, I don't think so. I tried to tell him.
You guys have this baseball on, right?
Who cares?
Yeah, it's on my other TV
in Milwaukee.
What do you guys got to promote this week? What do you want to let people know? Let people know where they can find you. Anything under the sun. Jimmy, go.
Follow me on Twitter, Jimmy_C's. I forgot about that little Jimmy James. Jimmy_C08. Anything I post there, part of Packer Report. Pack a Day will come out Thursday. Whiskaholics comes out Thursday, and then anything for Game on Wisconsin will be posted there. So just follow me on Twitter. But more importantly, follow Todd, who just got to 1,000 followers at
the Todd V. Also, you can find me with Jimmy over here on Whiskaholics, like we mentioned before, every week. Also, you can follow at Walking Off Pod and check us out there for all of your Brewers info that you want. Nightly recaps. I'll be coming at you live again tonight after the game.
That seems a little excessive. There's 162 games, Todd. Do you do a live recap after every game?
Yeah.
Todd,
I don't. I
I
only
love
do
you like
Monday.
a brother, but that's fucking bonkers. That's insane.
I only do
That's how
Monday and
crazy person
Tuesday.
acts.
I only do Monday and Tuesday, and then we do a show Sunday night and Thursday night.
I don't know how any of you people watch every single game of a baseball season.
Let alone one.
We don't. That's why I only do the recap 2 nights a week.
You can follow me on Twitter at DK all the way. Every other Tuesday coming out with the Pack a Day podcast episode with Eli Berkovitz and Janelle Mackey. Got one coming out this coming Tuesday. Also, we'll have starting soon, actually probably this week, some new stuff coming out every Friday for Game On Wisconsin article-wise. So make sure that you're following me there for updates on that. So I hope you follow us all. Follow the show at Lombardi's Bar. Follow us at Game On WI. And of course, the big one, subscribe to us on YouTube, because that's going to be the main place to start getting all of our content here very shortly. So make sure you're following us over there. But for producer Nick, for Jimmy Christensen, for Todd Varney, I'm your bartender, Dan Connick, signing off. What, Todd?
You said
my name. I just said sup.
Oh. Thank you for ruining the outro.
It's what I do.
For producer Nick, for Jimmy Christensen, for Todd Varney, I'm your bartender, Dan Connick, signing off. Cheers, everybody. Go Pack.
Yeah.
Go Pack.